What is going on, guys? It is your boy the Pad Goat Gaming coming at you again with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going into my updated OP10 tier list rankings. We finally have some results. We have about 4 weeks of OP10 ranked sim results, so there's actually something to go on now. When I made my tier list 3 or 4 weeks ago now, all we had was speculation of what would happen in the OP10 meta, but now we finally have some solid results to talk about, and we can make an accurate tier list to the best of my ability. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are on the way to 400 subs. We're at 358 right now, so thank you for all the support, guys. It really means a lot. And with that being said, we're going through every leader in the game. I wanted to just do like the top 30 leaders, but I couldn't bring my heart to do it. I still want to talk about Purple Kaido. I still want to talk about Kaido. So we're going to be doing every leader in the game, boys. So that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get right into the video. Okay, guys, so getting right into the tier list here, we are starting out with our fallen brethren, our OP10 starter deck leaders. All of these leaders are absolutely iconic. We have Kaido, we have Red Luffy, we have Eustace, Captain Kid, and of course the Crocodile. These decks at some point in time were considered like high A tier, in the B tier, and some even the S tier, like with Kid and OP10. But they've all fallen, guys. At this point in the game, they have fallen to just fun decks. Super iconic, probably the most iconic leaders in the entire game, just because they were the starter deck and all of their artwork is just badass. But yeah, guys, at this point in time, they are just fun decks. I've tried to make Kaido work. I've tried to make Crocodile work, but it is just very, very difficult in today's meta. So with that being said, just fun decks for our STO1 through STO4 brethren. Next, guys, we have Red Purple Luffy. Red Purple Luffy has been teetering on the top 10 decks in the format for the entirety of OP10 so far. Like, he's been 9, 10, 11, 12 in that range the entire time. So I think because of that, he belongs in the A tier, like top 32 regionals. I would not be surprised if this deck like stuck into the top 8 or had a really good performance like top 4ing. Has a really good matchup into Shanks, which is one of the most popular decks in the format. And then there's so many ways you can play it. Like, it can tech to combat a lot of different matchups in the game. You can play the Red Purple Luffy, you can play the more mid-range or the long-range Red Purple Luffy. So a lot of different ways to play this deck. One of my favorite decks in the format, and I think really deserves a spot in the A tier. Next, we have Red Purple Kid. Now, I would not be surprised if someone pulled up with Red Purple Kid to locals and just took the whole thing. I just haven't seen anyone cook anything. There's no one really paying attention to the deck. There's no one giving the attention it deserves. But if someone really took the time to put together a banger Red Purple Kid deck, I think he could perform really, really well and maybe like sneak into a top 64 regionals, or maybe even like the 32nd spot of a regionals if someone really cared enough to put a lot of time into this deck. I just don't know if they will. Next, we have Uta, guys. I've been seeing some Uta buzz in that it can beat Shanks relatively easily. I don't know if that's true or not. I have not looked into it very much, but Uta's effect is just very strong, and I don't know if I can't put her in A tier just because I haven't seen any results. I haven't seen any actual evidence that she's a good deck, but with what people have been saying, I think she deserves a spot in the local hero, especially if she has a good matchup into Shanks, which I cannot confirm for myself, but I've just heard it through the pipeline. So I think we're going to put Uta into the B tier. Next, we have Red Purple Law, guys. This leader is banned, so if you are playing this, please stop. Next, we have Hody Jones. I can't believe this leader was printed. I don't know what was going through their brain. I've never seen anyone talk about this deck. I haven't seen anyone play this deck. And if you are playing Hody Jones, I am sorry. So we're putting Hody Jones in the ban tier. Do not play this leader. Next, we have Purple Yellow Pudding. Now, Pudding, I have seen people talk about Pudding like she is a top 10 deck in the format. I have not I've played against one Pudding in the past month of OP10. I played against one Pudding and I absolutely ran her over. So I don't know what people are talking about. Maybe there is a secret Pudding god that I have yet to meet. But I do trust people. I do have a trust for the One Piece community and knowing what they're talking about. So definitely not top 10. I think she might be like top 20. I definitely could see someone pulling up to locals and cooking with Pudding. So I'm going to put her in the B tier for now. Next, we have Yellow Red Sabo. I think it's a fun deck. Not a lot to say about him. Sakazuki, pay your respects. The once great, once best deck in the format is now, well, actually, I think, yeah, we'll just put him in banned. Next, we have Uta. Uta, I've just never seen anyone play her. I think we're just going to put her in pay your respects. We're playing Uta. I'm sorry. Blue, purple, Kaido. Blurple Kaido, one of my favorite decks ever. Pay your respects. This card just never got enough support. Its leader effect is not good enough to justify its 4 life. And yeah, it's just not even close to being good enough, guys. I really love the deck. Wish it was better. Next, we have the yellow purple Croc. Same thing as the Blurple Kaido, just not enough there to make it competitive. It's just not a good enough. Same, like, so many of these double colored leaders are so cool, but they are just not even close to being able to compete with the best decks in the format. Zeph, Croc, Kaido, and the Isho here. And Isho caught a stray with the Ice Age ban and the Gecko Moria ban. This deck was actually not competitive, but it was a fun deck to play. I think now it's just kind of gutted with the Gecko and the Ice Age ban. So Isho, I'm putting him in pay your respects as well. Next, we have Black Yellow Big Mom. Out of respect for my boy from Las Vegas, we're putting Black Yellow Big Mom in the fun decks. Like, could I see someone pulling up to locals with Black Yellow Big Mom and cooking a round or two? I could, because nobody knows how to play against her. Like, everyone has forgotten about this leader for now. So I think someone could cook up something a little bit. Next, we have Iceberg. Iceberg, RIP. I'm sorry you exist. Pay your respects. Magellan Saint. I can't believe they made Magellan's leader ability so bad, and they made his support cards so bad. Like, it's actually unbelievable. Like, maybe if the 5-cost Magellan was leader locked, or if this deck had any better ramp options, it could be viable. But it's not good enough, boys. Ivankov, same thing. Doomed on start. What's it called? Oh, DOA, dead on arrival. Yeah, DOA for all of these leaders, guys. Sanji, same thing. DOA, leader effect, not even close to being good enough. Black Yellow Luffy. I have been cooked by a couple of Black Yellow Luffys, even with the bans to the yellow event, the Gecko, and the Ice Age. I've been cooked by this deck a couple times. I feel like it might be, like, it's definitely not a top 32 deck, I don't think. I think it could be a local hero, and maybe it could sneak into a top 64, maybe a top 32 placement, because people are good at playing this deck because they were playing him when he was at his full power. So people know how to play the deck, and the people that do are still very powerful with the deck. So I think I'm going to put him somewhere in the B tier above Uta, I think. Next, we have Yellow Big Mom. A 5 life yellow leader that has access to 10-drop Big Mom is just good in my opinion. Like, it's obviously not, I don't think I would ever see this deck topping like a top 64, top 32, mostly because people don't play it because there are other better options. I think she's a fun deck. Always a fun deck. Next, we have Red Black Garp. RIP, pay your respects. Gecko ban, Ice Age ban. But he might be fun. Like, his leader effect is really cool. I'm going to put him in the fun tier. Odin, pay your respects, boys. DOA. Kuro at banned. Do not play that leader. He's actually banned, like, by Bandai. Bandai actually banned this leader, guys. Next, we have Green Red Luffy. Also DOA. King is badass. I really love this deck. But once again, like, all of these multicolored four life leaders, it's just not good enough. It is not quite there to be able to even be a local hero. I think he's a really fun deck, and you can have some really good times with him, but just the leader effect just isn't, like, he has a lot of good cards to support him, but the leader effect is just not worth the running the leader, in my opinion. Next, we have the Arlong. Arlong is the absolute cheese master, the absolute cheeser. I think he's a fun deck. I don't think he's in the pay your respects tier. I think these decks are just all RIP if you're playing them. But I think he's a fun deck. Next, we have Sakazuki, DOA. Absolutely no reason to play this black leader over anything else in the format. Next, we have Chopper. Chopper is a fun deck. Chopper is cooking a little bit. I played one Chopper in my life, and I got absolutely railed by him. Absolutely fucking destroyed. So Chopper is going in the fun decks tier. Sabo also caught the stray of the Gecko ban. He caught the stray of the Gecko and Ice Age ban. He has a really cool effect, but once again, just isn't good enough to warrant running him. Next, we have the Vegapunk. Vegapunk, I don't know enough about the deck. His abilities seem strong. I was not playing the game when he was strong, So because of that, I'm going to put him in the fun decks category. I don't think he's in the pay your respects. I think he's obviously better than these, but I don't think he's a local hero as well. Red Green Law. Now, Red Green Law, like, he has such a strong history, but every time I've played against him these days, it's just kind of a wash. I just kind of run him over. So because of... I know there's someone still out there that is very, very good with the deck that is trying his hardest to cook. And would I be surprised if I saw a Red Green Law in the top 32, like in like the 31st, 32nd slot, or a top 64? I would not. And if someone pulled up with locals with Red Green Law and I knew they were a good player, I'd still be scared. So I'm gonna put Red, like, I don't know if he deserves this, but just from his history, I think Red Green Law deserves to be in the local hero spot just because of his absolute dominance throughout the game. Next we have Green Blue Zoro and Sanji. I actually don't know enough about this deck, but he seems fun. So I'm gonna put him in the C tier. Blue Yellow Ace, because he's Ace. I've never played the deck, I've never played against the deck, but because he's Ace, he's going in the fun decks tier. Black Luffy, I really want to give this deck a try. I don't see it obviously being better than the Lucci or the Smoker, but the concept of having a 6,000 power black leader just makes my brain get happy. So because of that, I'm going to put him in the fun decks. I will be making a video about this. Consider if I'm able to actually make him work, I will be making a video about that leader, because I've never played against him. Like, no one plays this deck, so I actually just figured out that I could play him. So yeah, I will be making a video about that. Next we have Yamato. Once again, like the Big Mom, just a 5 life yellow leader. It's probably going to be good enough to at least warrant some play and some respect. So Yamato goes in the fun decks tier. Next we have Zoro, guys, and for our first S tier, I think Zoro might be dropping down to the top of A tier, but for now, like in the top 10 rankings, Zoro's been slowly moving down the rankings, just because I think people are starting to tech obviously more cards in their deck to deal with the animal package. They know how to play against it a little bit more. So Zoro still holds his spot in the S tier, but probably towards the bottom. We'll see who else ends up in the S tier. Next, guys, we have the Dofi. Now Dofi has somehow repped his way back to being the top ranked deck on the ranked sim. I don't know if I'm going to put him at 1, because I don't think he's the best deck in the format. I think he's a top 3 deck for sure, but I don't know if he's number 1. We will see what we end up doing at the top there. Next we have Whitebeard. Whitebeard I'm going to put in local hero as well. I think this deck still has some potential. Whitebeard will always have a strong leader ability, and yeah, he just has a lot of strong cards available to him. Having the 6k leader is obviously very fucking strong. And would I be surprised if a Whitebeard snuck into the top 32? I would not, personally. If I saw a Whitebeard, but like, oh yeah, that's Whitebeard. Like, someone knows how to play him. They've been playing him for 6 sets, and they're just very good with the deck. So because of that, I'm going to put Whitebeard in the local hero tier. Next we have Kinemon. Kinemon is a fun deck. I think it still has a little tiny bit of sauce remaining, but just isn't warranted to be any higher than the fun decks, in my opinion. Next we have Smoker. Smoker I'm going to put in the A tier. I think Lucci has kind of solidified himself as the best mono black deck besides Blackbeard. I think it's very obvious at this point, but Smoker still has access to the Tashigi, a very strong leader ability with the cost minus on him. And yeah, just a lot of good things coming out of Smoker, but just not quite at the level of the Rob Lucci at this point. Next we have Blurple Croc. Blurple Croc, pay your respects, boys. All of these leaders are so cool. I wish they just made their abilities a little bit better, or yeah, because they're just not good enough to warrant playing. Next, guys, we have Ace. Ace, in my opinion, I've been trying to make Ace work. I've played a lot of games with Ace because I want to make a video about him, but I just haven't found the right way to play him. Like, it's just very hard to make him work to justify playing him over any of the other mono red leaders. But I think he still has a little bit of sauce. I would be surprised if Ace ever got a top 32. I'd be very surprised. The top 64 I could see, but a top 32 would be really pushing it for me. I think I'm going to put Ace at the top of fun decks. I think Ace is still strong. He has a lot of things going for him, but he's just not quite strong enough there, guys. Next we have the Nami. Nami, obviously, very strong deck, has always been somewhat relevant in the meta. Like, you always have to be prepared for a Nami player, and because of that, I'm going to include Nami at the local heroes. Would not be surprised at all if this was in the top 32, absolutely, like even the top 16, honestly, if a Nami player snuck in there, because Nami can just, she has those games where she just triggers everything. You draw 30 cards and you win the game, and that's just it. Next, guys, we have Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci's just used to be a really strong deck in OP03, OP04, but just there's so many other better options in black right now that there's really no reason to play this deck. He is a mono-colored black leader, so because of that, I'm going to put him in the fun decks, but really no reason to ever play the OP03 Rob Lucci. Katakuri, I think Katakuri belongs in local heroes. Like, I would not want to see this if I pulled up to locals. I do not want to see a Katakuri. He's going to play 10-drop Mom on me. I think the Blackbeard matchup really hurts him a lot, and especially with the popularity of Zoro and Shanks right now. It's just a hard time for Katakuri. Would I be surprised if they were in the top 32? Absolutely fucking not. One of the best 5 monocolored yellow leaders of all time. Just very strong effect. A lot of powerful cards, but just not quite strong enough anymore, which is fucking insane. Like, it's fucking insane that he's not strong enough anymore, and especially with the banning of that 6-drop yellow event that could KO anything. Katakuri took a little bit of a hit there as well. Next, we have Vivi. Now, Vivi, I feel like, is strong, but I would still be very, very surprised if this made it into the top 32 ever. With that being said, I could definitely see someone cooking with it. I think it belongs at the local heroes tier. I'm going to put her at the bottom of the local heroes. Like, I'd be very surprised if Vivi finished with a top 32 performance, but I would be scared if someone I knew that was good at the game pulled up with Vivi and had been cooking for a long time. It's just a deck with a lot of nuance. You can play so many different cards, and there's really no one set list for Vivi. Like, for Blackbeard, like, everyone's playing the same shit. Dofi, everyone's playing the same shit. Zoro, everyone's playing the same shit. Like, you know what to play. These decks are relatively optimized, whereas Vivi just hasn't been optimized in that same way. So you have to really cook up a list if you want to make this deck work, which is possible, but there's just, it'd be difficult in my opinion. Next, we have the Shanks. DOA, boys. D-O fucking A. Shanks is, honestly, I'm going to put Shanks on the ban tier. Bandai banned the leader as of today. Next, we have the Buggy. Buggy, I think, is a, I'm tempted to put him as a local hero tier, but I just don't see him ever top 32ing ever in any scenario. So I think putting him in the top of fun decks, like, same thing with Ace. This is how I feel about both of these leaders. Like, I'd be surprised if they made it into the top 32, but I wouldn't be like fucking shocked. But I think both of these, the Ace and the Buggy, belong in the top of the fun decks. Next, we have Blurple Dofi. Now, I haven't seen anyone play this deck since OP10 came out, but I know that he got support. I know it is strong support, but I just don't, like, same thing with Buggy and Ace. I think it has the potential to maybe get a top 32, but I'd be very surprised if just not there's so many decks that there's not enough people playing these decks unless they're the best decks in the format. Like, how many people are taking Grape Dofi to a regionals? Probably 10, maybe 10. I just don't know if there's enough representation, because there's so many good decks in the format right now. I don't know who would be choosing to bring a Grape Dofi into regional, but I think if someone really took the time, I think he could maybe get a top 32, a top 64. But because of the underrepresentation, I think the top of fun decks is where he belongs. Rebecca, I thought Rebecca would be better in this format, honestly, but she's kind of just been getting trashed. I think I'm going to put her in local heroes. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she got a top, well, I would be surprised. I would be surprised if she got a top 32. I think she's a consistent control deck that, in the right circumstances, could find a lot of success. I don't know what her matchup into Dofi is. I imagine it's very strong because Usopp shits on Dofi, so I imagine the Rebecca leader has a very strong matchup into Dofi. I just don't know. Like, if Dofi takes off, like right now his usage isn't that high. If Dofi's able to take off and really find a lot of success in OP10, maybe Rebecca starts climbing up these rankings because of her matchup into Dofi. But yeah, Rebecca, I think, belongs above fun and in the local heroes. Like, I don't want to see Rebecca at locals, guys. I do not. Queen, I think, is a fun deck. The Bello Betty is a very strong aggro deck, but it's kind of it's a glass cannon. Like, it's all in or nothing. If you do not finish your opponent off in time, you basically just lose. But I think that is a, you know, you bring into regionals, you high roll, that's good games. Like, it's over. So I think Bello Betty belongs in the local heroes tier towards the top. I would not be surprised if she top 32'd. Her ability is really strong, and I know she gets a lot of support in OP11, so I'm excited to see where she goes from there. Next, I have Rosinante. Rosinante, out of sheer respect for the amount of times I've been absolutely fucking cooked by this leader, I'm going to put him in local heroes. It takes a special player to be able to pilot this deck effectively, but I think given the right person, Brandon, if you're watching this, like, RJ cooking with green blue Rosinante was fucking awful. If someone takes up this deck and really takes it seriously, I would not be surprised if it found its way into the top 32. Next, we have Purple Luffy, our next leader in the S tier. This is a top 3 deck in the format. It has been so consistent throughout OP10, just staying in that 1 through 4 range, and that right now it's at the number 2 slot in the ranked sim rankings. I think Purple Luffy is very strong. It's very consistent. So much support. It has the Gum Gum Giants to stay alive. It has a lot of aggression. Just a very versatile, very strong Purple Luffy deck. Next, we have Enel. Enel, local hero, bottom, fun deck. It just hurts to put Enel in fun deck because he was once so good. But I feel like the 6-drop event, the Raigo, I think it was called, the KO'd anything, was a big hit to Enel. So I think I'm going to put him at the top of the fun decks. Like, I could definitely see him getting a top 64, maybe even a top 32, but I don't know. It's bottom of local, top of fun, either one. Next, we have the Black Luffy. Same thing as the Lucci. Like, there's no reason to be playing these black leaders over any of the other black leaders in the game. So but he is a mono-colored 5-life black leader, so because of that, he automatically gets in the fun deck tier. Next, we have the Perona. Perona, I think, is a fun deck. Yamato, same thing. Reiju always cooks me, bro. Reiju's always been cooking me. So I'm just not very good into the deck, but I feel like she has a lot of good cards for her. She has a variety of different ways to play the deck and has a very interesting spread of matchups. So I think because of that, I'm going to put her in the local heroes tier. I don't think she's an A tier deck. Next, we have Gecko. Gecko probably belongs... I've been seeing some people cook with Gecko. I've been seeing a lot of more videos about him, like, after the Ice Age and Gecko Moria ban. I just don't know why you'd play Gecko now over Rob Lucci or Smoker. So because of that, I think at the bottom of local heroes is where he belongs. Dragon, same thing, a very strong mono-colored red deck. Like, would I be surprised if a mono-colored red deck that has good aggression made it into the top 64, top 32? I just don't know if there's a reason to play him over a Zoro, over a Sanji, over a Shanks. So because of that, I'm going to put him at the bottom of local heroes. King, pay your respects. This leader was DOA. Absolutely fucking DOA. Like, you see how these purple leaders, every other leader in the game kind of gets the, if you were a mono-colored leader in your color and you have 5 life, you kind of get this bump to at least the fun decks. But the Magellan and the King's effects are just so weak, and the Iceberg are so weak, and there's not enough going on in purple to warrant ever playing these decks. Next, we have Bonnie. Bonnie has solidified herself as a top tier deck, but for S tier, I want to leave as the, like, top 5 decks on the format. But Bonnie has obvious, like, her effect is just so fucking consistent. Like, how does Bonnie exist and Magellan exist in the same fucking game? Like, what the fuck were they thinking when they made Bonnie's ability, and what were they thinking when they made Magellan's ability? Like, it's not even fair. Like, this isn't even the same game at this point. One Dawn, rest a character? Absolutely insane. But Bonnie's been very consistent in OP10 so far, and I think obviously deserves a spot in the top of the A tier. Next, we have Boa. Boa has yet to crack the top 10, but is probably, besides Dofi, the best mono blue leader in the game. Very good control deck, just hasn't been able to crack. I think she's probably a top 15, top 20 deck in the format, and I think belongs at the bottom of the A tier for now. Next, we have Foxy. Foxy, fun deck. Rob Lucci, I'm going to put at the top of A tier. He has been slowly rising with the success of Dofi, with the success of Zoro, with the success of Bonnie. Rob Lucci is just going to probably stay here or maybe even improve throughout the format. Even with the Gecko ban, even with the Ice Age ban, like there's a lot of other cards you can play to replace those cards. The Rob Lucci is still a top 10 deck in the format, and I think belongs at the top of A tier for now. Next we have Marco. Marco has a lot of good matchups, but a lot of he's kind of like a glass cannon in a different way as the Bello Betty. Like he either win really hard or lose really hard. I think he belongs at the bottom of A tier. Like I would not be surprised if this deck got a top 32 at all. I think Marco is a very strong leader, very cool leader, and one of my personal favorite decks in the format. I think belongs at the bottom of A tier. Next we have Carrot. Like no one's playing Carrot because why would you play Carrot if Bonnie exists? But I think her effect is still really strong and warrants a bottom of A tier finish. I think her representation is just really low because of Bonnie's existence, but if someone does decide to take up Carrot, I think she'd be very successful. Next we have the yellow dude. I forget what this guy's name is. Don't cook me in the comments, guys, but just no one plays him. I know he has a relatively strong effect, and when I see this deck in the sim, I'm a little bit scared. I think belongs in the local heroes somewhere. Like I could see this deck getting a top 32 or sneaking into the top 64. Would not be surprised at all. Next we have the Shanks. Shanks, we're gonna decide whether to put Shanks or Dofi as the best deck in the format at the end of the video, but for now obviously Shanks is an S tier fucking deck. Next we have Lim. Lim, same thing as some of these other leaders, Rob Lucci, Bonnie, Luffy, has clearly established itself as a very consistent top 10 deck in the format. A very annoying deck to play against, just kind of does the same thing over and over against and establishes a big board. So because of that, I'm going to put Lim in the A tier. If you want to beat Lim, guys, if you want to beat Lim, play Kaido. Just 10 drop them and they're dead. It is nice. Yeah, just play Kaido. Unless they have Tashigi on board. If they have Tashigi on... No, Smoker? Yeah, no, Tashigi. The 3-drop green, I forget if it's Tashigi or Smoker, but it can negate 10-drop Kaido's ability for whatever fucking reason. Next we have Black, Purple, Luffy. I want to put this in local heroes, but I have not seen enough people play this deck. I haven't been cooked by it personally. I know it has some sauce, but for now I think somewhere in the fun decks tier is where it belongs. Nico Robin, I really like this deck. I've been trying to cook with it, like making a real list for Nico Robin that I want to put out there relatively soon. I have a lot of good games with it, and having the banish on the leader is very nice, and I think it has some potential, just needs the right person to pilot it. I think the bottom of local heroes is where it belongs. I could see it maybe sneaking into the top 64. Just the banish on a leader is so cool. Such a cool concept for the leader ability. Next we have Blackbeard, automatic S. Blackbeard is just meta defining, guys. Like it shuts down so many of these decks and is the sole reason that a lot of decks are not higher in this format because of the existence of Blackbeard. Like if you can't beat Blackbeard, you're not completely cooked, because obviously Lucci is here and some of these black decks, but some of the leaders that maybe would have a shot without the existence of Blackbeard just absolutely get fucking thrown to the bottom of the tier list because of his existence. Next we have Blue Luffy. Blue Luffy, I think it's a fun deck. We'll put him in the middle of fun deck. Next we have this Sakazuki. I don't even know what this dude does. Pay your respects. I think this was supposed to be a replacement for the old Sokka. Let's see. I don't have anything to say about that. Next we have Sanji. Sanji is probably is actually one of the best mono red leaders in the game. He's obviously better than Dragon in my opinion. I think he's better than the Newgate. Sanji has a lot of sauce and his leader ability is just so strong, so consistent. You can play a lot of different very powerful red cards with him. I think because of that, I'm going to put him at the top of local heroes. Actually, I put Nami at the top and then Sanji. Like I would not be surprised if Sanji made it into top 32 or top 64. And getting into our last leaders here, guys. Uta, banned. Odin, banned. Hannibal, banned. Odin. I'll put Odin and pay respects just because he's cool. Caesar Clown, banned. Sugar has some stuff. Sugar has a little bit of stuff. I've played against a couple Sugars now where I see the potential. So I'm going to go ahead and put Sugar at the bottom of local heroes. Like I could, given the right person and given the right matchups, I could see Sugar having a successful OP10. I just haven't seen enough results to be able to warrant placing her any higher than that. Sanji already put. We have Yellow Green Law. Yellow Green Law, I feel like every time I play it, I just win. But I know like the leader ability is good, and I know there is potential here. So for now, because I've not seen any other people cook with him, like I haven't seen anyone really go off with him or get a good placement at a tournament, but I know the potential is there. So we're gonna put him at the bottom of local heroes. Like same thing with Sugar, same kind of concept. Usopp. Now Usopp I feel like belongs in the A tier. Like I don't think he's a local hero, but some of his matchups are just so bad, like into Shanks. He just kind of gets shit on by a lot of decks. Like Blackbeard and Shanks he gets shit on by. I think he deserves to be in front of Marco. Like and Boa and Smoker. Like he's made an appearance in the top 10, and because of that, I think he deserves to be here. We're gonna put Usopp in the middle of the A tier. Next, guys, we have the Yellow Kid. Yellow Kid, I think, belongs in front of Usopp. He's been a very consistent top 10 deck in the format. He's stayed at 9 or 10 throughout all of OP10. And I think just a very strong monocolored yellow leader, like the best one, obviously, in the game right now. A very strong effect, a lot of powerful cards, and just a very strong yellow deck. Just doing yellow deck shit. Next, we have the... I don't think this has come out. I think this is EBO2. Next, we have the starter deck 21 Luffy. Kind of the same concept as the Sanji here. Like a very strong mono red leader. But Zoro exists and Shanks exist. So because of that, I think Sanji's a little bit better than him. So I'm going to put him right below Sanji at the local hero tier. And then lastly, guys, we have the Smoker. Smoker had a very strong start to OP10. But has just been falling and falling and falling as time has gone on. So I think I'm going to put Smoker in front of Boa. I think I'm going to put the Black Smoker in front of the Red-Green Smoker and then leave the A tier like that. I think that is where I'd like to kind of leave this list. So now on to our S tier rankings. S tier. You know, what defines S tier is how important to the meta are you? How impactful are you as a deck? And if we are going by that metric, I think Blackbeard would have to be considered the best deck in the format, but he's not. The thing is, he's not, but he influences the rest of the meta in a way that no other deck can even come close to. Blackbeard is so meta defining that it like obvious. I think Dofi's better than him. I think Shanks is better than him. I think Purple Luffy is better than him. I think the Zoro and the Blackbeard are a debate. But Blackbeard has such a large like he is the black hole. He is the black hole that sucks everything in. He has such a big effect on everything else in the meta right now that I think I have to put him. I think I'm going to put him as the second best deck in the format. But I think the existence of Dofi and Dofi absolutely shitting on Blackbeard will keep him from ever getting to this #1 spot. I think we're going to keep Shanks at 3, Purple Luffy at 4, and Zoro at 5 is how I'd like to leave this list. Maybe Rob Lucci into the S tier. Because if I have Dofi at 1, I think Rob Lucci will eventually crack the top 5 in my opinion. Because Rob Lucci has one of the best matchups into Dofi besides Usopp. But Usopp loses so hard into a lot of other decks. I think Rob Lucci might deserve to crack into this S tier here, just because I think this is what's going to happen as Dofi becomes more popular, as he stays as one of the best decks in the format. Having Dofi as 1 is absolutely fucking insane, given that a card was banned because of this deck, and the deck is still #1, which is just a testament to how fucking strong this leader is, how fucking strong his support is. And coming from OP01, like obviously Zoro and Dofi still representing OP01 very strong here, and just insane that they're still both at the top of S tier, which could be why we're seeing rotation, guys, just because we want to see some new decks on the format and not have these decks be relevant. Well, Dofi hasn't been relevant for the entirety of the game, honestly. Zoro's been here every single fucking set. You have had to pay attention to this leader. But yeah, guys, that is my list. This took a long fucking time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you made it to the end of the video. Tell me what you think your top 5 decks in the format are. I think everyone has to have some version of this, but if you have a spicy pick, let me know what it is. Let me know what you thought of the video. And with that being said, guys, I hope you have a good Sunday. It is a beautiful day here in Canada. Absolutely fucking stunning. I might go fishing I do want to make a fishing video eventually. I used to make fishing videos. That is how I started on YouTube, if you didn't know, which most of you definitely do not know. So yeah, guys, hope you have a good Sunday, and I'll see you later.